Hi class, Mrs. Calvi here, going over a few more of the divisibility rules. We are starting with 6, and the 6th rule is a number is divisible by 6 if the number is divisible by both 2 and 3. So in order for the number to be divisible by 6, it has to be divisible by 2 and 3. So in this case, you need to remember what the 2 rule is and what the 3 rule is. All right, so if I have the number let's say 452. Okay, so it needs to be divisible by the 2 rule and by the 3. So remember, the 2 rule is if the number ends in an even number, it's divisible by 2. Well, let's see. The number ends in a 2, and 2 is an even number. So I know that 452 is divisible by 2. So now I have to check the 3 rule. Remember, the 3 rule is if I add up the sum of the digits and that sum is divisible by 3, then the whole number is divisible by 3. So when I add this up, I get 11. So now I have to figure out, is 11 divisible by 3? Or does 3 times a number give me 11 exactly? Well, here the answer is no. So that means 452 is not divisible by 3. Now, in order for the number 452 to be divisible by 6, it would have to be divisible by 2 and 3. So it would have to be divisible by both and. Now, because it's not divisible by 3, it's not going to be divisible by 6. All right, so let's try a different number. So let's say we had 38. All right, so let's see if it meets the 2 rule. Is it an even number? Yes, 8 is even, so I know that it meets the 2 rule. So check off it meets the 2 rule. Let's see if it meets the 3 rule. Add up the sum of its digits. So 3 plus 8, that's 11. Well, again, 11 does not meet the 3 rule. So because it met the 2 rule but didn't meet the 3 rule, it is not going to meet the 6 rule. All right, let's try one more. So let's say we had, let's use the number 24. So let's say 24. Well, let's see if it meets the 2 rule. Well, it ends in a 4 and that's even, so it meets the 2 rule. Let's see if it meets the 3 rule. Add up the sum of its digits. 2 plus 4 gets me to 6. Well, is 6 divisible by 3? Or does 3 times a number give me 6? Well, being that 3 times 2 gives me 6, 6 is divisible by 3. So that tells me that 24 is divisible by 3. So I can check off that it meets the 3 rule also. So now, because 24 is divisible by 2, and by 3, it's automatically divisible by 6. So here, it works out. All right, so 24 is divisible by 2 and 3, which means it's also divisible by 6. All right, let's move on to the 7 rule. Okay, so the divisibility rule for 7. The number is divisible by 7 if the last digit of the number is doubled and subtracted from the rest of the number, and this difference is divisible by 7. All right, so let's go try some numbers to test it out. Okay, so let's start out with a number. I'm going to start out with 595. Okay, for the 7 rule, we have to double the last digit. We're going to double the last digit. So if I double 5, that equals 10. The next part of the rule says to take that and subtract it from the beginning part of the number. So I'm going to then take 59 and subtract 10. That would give me 49. So now I'm looking, is 49 divisible by 7? Or does 7 times a number give me 49 exactly? And the answer is yes, because 7 times 7 is 49. So because 49 is divisible by 7, 595 is divisible by 7. So remember, the 7 rule is take the last digit and double it. So I doubled 5 and I got 10. I subtracted that from the beginning part of my number. All right. When I took 59, subtracted 10, I got 49. And because 49 is divisible by 7, the entire number 595 is divisible by 7. All right, so let's try another one. If I had, let's say the number 4,963. Okay, first step, double my last digit. I'm going to double 3. That means multiplying it by 2. Remember, doubling means to multiply by 2. So double 3 and I get 6. So I'm going to take the beginning part of my number, 496, subtract what the doubled number was. So 496 minus 6 equals 490. So now I need to see, does 490, is that divisible by 7? Well, mental math. 7 times 7 would give me 49. So 7 times 70 would give me 490. So 7 does go into 490 evenly. So that means that 4,963 is divisible by 7. Okay? All right, last one for the 7 rule. Let's see if 213 is divisible by 7. The rule is to double my last digit. So I'm doubling 3, that gives me 6. Next step, take the beginning part of the number and subtract what we doubled. So 21 minus 6. All right, so if I take 21 and I subtract 6, I would get 15. So now I need to see if 15 is divisible by 7, or does 7 times a number give me 15 exactly? Well, the answer is no. So because 15 is not divisible by 7, 213 is not divisible by 7. Okay? Okay, last rule for this video, the 8 rule. So the 8 rule is a number is divisible by 8 if the last 3 digits of a number are divisible by 8. So the last 3 digits. So let's go. I have 14,048. So I'm going to box in the last 3 digits. That creates the number 48. So if 48 is divisible by 8, the entire number is divisible by 8. So now I have to think, does 8 times a number give me 48 exactly? Does 8 times a number give me 48 exactly? So 8 times 6 is 48, so that means my answer is yes. 48 is divisible by 8. So that means 14,048 is divisible by 8. Okay? So remember the 8 rule. If the last 3 digits of the number are divisible by 8, then the entire number is divisible by 8. So I boxed in my last 3 digits and it created the number 48. 48 is divisible by 8, so 14,048 is divisible by 8. Okay, that's it for this video, and I will talk to you soon.